Aces, I can promise you that not all sunglasses are built the same. Rick's Eyewear is crafted for durability, clarity and style that lasts. And we're so confident that we back ourselves with a 90-day free returns policy just in case they're not a perfect match. Use Aces for 20% off site-wide and find your fit right now at rickseyewear.com.au. Now let's get into the show. Welcome back, everyone. Another episode of Tommy Talks. This week we got Brad Crouch in the building. Crouchy, how are you, mate?
Thanks for having me, mate.
Just split me jeans there, reaching over. Gee whiz. How you going, mate?
Looking a bit bigger.
Yeah, the big baggy pants. Not like you. Geez, you're looking sleek. Post-football must be going all right. You got the RM, so you're not bad for a country boy.
Yeah, I know, mate. I know. I'm back in the workforce now, so.
Let's talk about that. There's rumours that you were going to go around again this year. No one could work out if you were playing or not, and then they just saw you on LinkedIn. You changed your bio and said that you're working at Collier's in commercial real estate. Yeah. just thought you'd let Mitch Cleary know on LinkedIn instead of just the private DM.
Nah, well, it was actually an EDM that was sent out. I actually hadn't changed my LinkedIn. I wasn't that dumb, but no, I could see the writing on the wall for a while, mate. So I started working in August last year, actually.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, late August. So. Oh, mate, there was stuff from about 3 years before that, so.
I thought you had the groins. Did you have the groins problem as well?
Yeah, the groins. Yeah, I had it all, mate.
Jeez, it's a brutal game. Let's talk about that and then we'll talk about post-footy, but just the injuries at the end, just what was going on? Because, you play, you have 30, then you're out with an injury, and how long did that go for?
Yeah, mate, my knee tipped up real quick. Like I had, I never had, the rest of my body was stuffed. I had, my knee actually wasn't too bad, and then I had a scrape at the end. I had my actually first scrape, and that was at the end of 23, which I played every game. But I was sort of carrying it through that whole season. And then, I just tipped up big time, and I had two other scrapes after that, and just the cartilage didn't have any after that.
Yeah, right. What was wrong with it?
I just, mate, the outside of my knee is just like lateral meniscus tear started, and then I just had to keep getting more cartilage, and it was just bone on bone. Yeah. That old chestnut. So, mate, I need to. It's amazing. I don't do much now. I do a couple of jogs, just down along the beach. And I feel way better, but like I still couldn't play footy.
Yeah.
So, I need to get I was actually meant to get obviously you know Ross Lyon pretty well. He had an osteotomy. You would have seen Ross walk around. He walks around like just horrifically. Yeah, horrifically. It's like you sort of have that before you get a knee replacement when you're too young. So I'm meant to get one of them, but I can't get my head around getting it because it's horrific. So they actually snap you like tibia and stuff and realign your whole knee. Yeah.
Oh boy.
So I can't get my head around that yet. I'm not in like sort of enough pain to go through that yet.
And what do they say? Do that now, and then that'll fix, and then have a knee replacement later in life.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's brutal what you put your body through.
Yeah, mate. You know what? Like, you'd probably be similar. I'm not sure how your body is now, like other than being like slightly overweight.
Just skinny fat man, mate.
No, so I like the same thing. Like I reckon the worst. Like once you know what it's like, sort of you do all this like injury prevention stuff and that in footy, and now. Like I'm not going in and doing any of these exercises. Yeah, now. My body's terrible. So,
mate, even gym. Like I did gym last night. I quickly pumped out a 25-minute session. Yeah,
that's my
I just tried to get it done, and fuck, my neck was good.
My neck,
I was throwing some shoulder
press. My neck and the shoulders are no good.
I'm throwing like not much weight around, but I was just doing it no rest, just tries, bis, shoulders, and a couple of lunges. And man, I've gotten the lift. I'm like, geez, I think I've done my knee here because I don't really. And you think about all the band work you do before you start, and you get the foam roller out, and you do a couple of push-ups, and you get the barbell and pull-ups, all that shit you hate, and it's probably worth doing, isn't it?
100%. And then, now what I feel too, the only time I can actually get motivated to do anything is if I go to like a class.
Yeah,
and someone makes you.
Yeah, no, that's distraction cardio is what they say. Or if it's a cardio session, because you can't think
to get to that point where you need to be pushed by everyone else. But
I reckon I thought about this because like I'm only just starting to get back into it now a little bit, but I've been saying this for 4 years. I reckon
5 years off.
5 years off. Yeah, it's taken me 5 years, and I'm only a week in. But you've done it so long. Like how hard do you take? When you're training as a young bloke, like think about just when you're 16, how you just push yourself to these limits, 100%. Even just mentally, physically, and then now it's just really hard to get back into that mode.
And even like I don't know what you're like as well, but like running wise, footy, you're around, like, you just want to run and, like, you push yourself to the limit. Like, I go for a run now and I start, like, heavy breathing. I'm just like, no, fuck this. I just take the foot back.
You got no accountability.
No accountability. Yeah.
So
it's good, though.
Yeah, it is good. It is good. You still feel like a weak bastard, though, don't you? You? When you have
Where am I at?
I run 3K and then stop and think, geez, you're weak. I've got mates doing marathons. I can't even get through a 5K without getting a bit
I know. We'll go and get a coffee.
Oh, it's brilliant. Let's go back to post-footy and then we'll talk about your whole career because it was you're a super footballer, mate. But so what are you doing right now? Let's give it a plug. Geez, you're looking sharp. Obviously, commercial real estate.
Yeah, commercial real estate. So I'm in the industrial team for college in the northern team. So I reckon you were in the same year, Nick O'Brien.
I was going to bring up Nico because I'll talk. Is he doing the same thing?
He's my boss. Yeah.
Is he really?
Yeah. So we were best mates sort of since we played in the under 12 Victorian team when we were. I think I was 10 or 11. I played like as an underage or whatever and met each other through, he was just outside of Ballarat. I was obviously Ballarat as well and become sort of best mates, went through school together and you were the same when we were sort of coming up through under 18s and that, big country stuff. We had a really good relationship and, went through school, did everything. And then when I came across from Adelaide, I started working 1 day a week at Colliers in industrial with Nick, like sort of work experience. So I did sort of almost 4 years there, 1 day a week. So, I was lucky enough. I knew the whole team. I had everything sort of ready to go. So I went straight into a role under Nick. So it's pretty good. Like, I love it. And they're a great company. Like, they're an amazing company. And, there's a lot of ex-footballers at Colliers as well. Michael Gardner, another Saints boy, he's
if he's telling you to buy it, you're going to buy it.
Oh, mate, I'm just too scared, mate. I don't even want to. You speak to him on the phone, he just gets aggressive at you straight away. Sorry, mate, I'll give you a referral. It's really good. And there's a lot of similarities between, real estate and, it's really good because for me, it's like Monday to Friday, which is really handy. I live in Hampton Bayside, but our office is in Eston Fields, so I work in the north of Melbourne in the industrial. So, Nick's always been out that way. It just makes sense, and I'd already had a relationship with the whole team and stuff. So
that's brilliant.
Oh, it's been awesome. I absolutely love it.
It's good advice to the blokes playing, like country lad. Yeah. I don't know how you went at your ATAR, mate. I certainly was horrendous, but it just goes to show when you grouse at footy like you are, and then you have these one little injury, like you said, your knee's playing up in 2023, and then after 2024 season you're retiring because of an injury. But the fact that you did the work experience and you got to know the team and you did it for 4 years and now you can roll straight in, that's huge because the amount of guys that I've spoken to that come out of footy and go, oh, mate, do you know anyone? And truthfully, I was the same if I didn't have my own business with Ricks and started this, but you're a bit lost. And if you haven't 100%. Had that little taste of the workplace in the game, it's very hard to then go, what do I want to do? I might not 100%. Want to do this. So it's pretty well done, mate, for doing that.
No, it's good. Like, it's, I was the same, like ATAR stuff. Like, mate, I got drafted in year 12 because I was a young year 12.
You and Jaeger O'Meara were 17-year-olds, weren't you? But
so I got drafted like in trade week, which was like 6 weeks before my exams.
Yeah.
In year 12. And,
so you got the head down as well,
I threw the books out the window.
I did the same, mate.
I'm going straight. I was flying over to Adelaide living with Pat Dangerfield, and I'm like, mate, I'm not going back and worrying about some bullshit fucking algebra.
That's exactly what I did, mate.
It's actually funny. I was talking to Nick about it the other day. We were talking about our exams and we were like, oh, geez, we lost our way late there in year 12, didn't we? Like, we both got drafts and that. And he's like, in like year 12, in like maths and that, in the VCE, there's like, you get taught, I think you like choose like there's like 8 different options and you only get taught like 4 or 6. It might be like algebra or, different ones. Anyway, we finished the exam at the end of it and we were totally unprepared and I walked out and Nico, he goes, oh, fuck. He goes, mate, I didn't realise. He goes, I ticked that algebra one. I did the algebra. I'm like, he goes, mate, we didn't even get fucking taught that this year. And I'm like, mate, how we going? I said, mate, I didn't even do, like, I only got through 3. and we were like, mate. So we sort of lost our way there. But I was the same. But it is like this stuff, like, I was a bit like that. Like, I thought in footy, and I reckon you'd be the same. Like, you look back, and even now, I reckon you focus, but when you first get there, you're like, I want to get good at footy first. So you go, like, well, if you can last another 2 or 3 years, I reckon it'd be a better chance. Like, okay, I'll last 2 or 3 years. I'll make more money in 2 or 3 years than I will in 10, 15 if I get good at it.
Yeah, no, you're spot on.
Do you know what I mean? And so it's like, well, I threw everything into footy early days, and then later on, as you get older, you get like, okay, it takes a toll after a while when you're like, okay, I can't stop just, focusing on footy and wearing the highs and lows of footy. So then you start looking at different stuff. And I've always had business interests, and I've always loved, finance and stuff like that. And it's just like, that was my release from footy a fair bit, where I was like, I didn't want to talk. I didn't want to sit down and watch footy or watch. That was almost like, I don't want to hear about that. I just want to play footy. I know what it's like now. You play for 8, 9, 10 years or whatever, and you go, you're present when you're there, but then you also got, like, then my release was being at college. That was like my favourite day of the week.
Yeah, that's because you're established and your team might be getting smacked.
And it helps.
Yeah,
it helps.
Mate,
like you just go from a totally different environment.
But to structure.
Yeah, and I found that like my day off, I'd be like excited to go and work.
Yeah,
and I'd be like, this is awesome, and then sometimes I'd be like, oh, fuck footy.
Oh, mate, my problem was I dived straight. Like, when I was into the Rixies, mate, I was running around to the post office during the lunch break and rolling in just a minute before the meeting, and Ross Lyon's wait. You roll in 6 minutes early and everyone's already got their notepads out, and you roll in like, well, fucking hell, you said 12. It's 11:54 and you're looking at me like I've killed someone. 100%. Like, sit down and just wait for the meeting to start, would you, fellas?
100%. And you know what Ross is like? If he gets a sniff of what you're doing off the field, and like, if you don't perform, he'll fucking go.
Oh, mate,
mate, it was funny because he noted I was working at college, and Ross was working with Mark Weisel before he was like in commercial as well. And so Ross, we'd talk about it in bits and pieces and that, and he'd know that I was doing it. He'd be happy. He'd be like, oh, mate, that's great you're doing that, great you're doing that. And that's after a win.
Yeah.
When we lost, and he's like, mate, where's your fucking head at?
Yeah.
And you can tell he's just that little bit bitter about it. You go, oh shit, I want to stop talking about commercial real estate or finance and that.
Start talking about touch.
Start talking about touch, or like how I'm preparing for games. So yeah, you know what he's like, mate. He's bloody. He's a cracker though. I love Ross.
Yeah, he's funny, mate. As long as you're doing the right things on the field, he's good. If you're not getting a kick though,
if you're not getting a kick, no, he's good though. But he'll tell you. I loved it. I love Ross. I don't know, I don't know how much obviously you played under him as well, but shit, like, I just watch him now and just. He makes me laugh.
He actually last night he was having a go at some bloke.
I saw that.
Some bloke asked me about the crowds, which is, again, if you're going to go backstage, talk about footy. But yeah, just he was completely unprepared about the question. He started peppering him back about it, and I just
talking to the media.
I just thought that's exactly what he's like if you go head to head with something, even if you agree to disagree. As long as you've got your info right, he'll walk out and respect it. But if you don't, if you're not prepared,
you got to be prepared.
One of the did he used to do the stuff at Freo, the thing that we used to piss ourselves about, well, not piss ourselves, we'd be on edge every day. He definitely put you on edge, but it's just how it was. And so everyone would have their notepads and we would always review the review. So if anyone listening and watching, that means we're going to review everything we learned yesterday the next morning before we start the next meeting. And when it's 7 a.m. and you're just rolling in, it just shows you who's prepared and who's not. What he used to do is he used to pick the coaches out a couple of times a year. And mate, geez, he rolled a couple of development coaches. I won't name them because they're probably doing good things in there, but geez, it was good. You go, all right, players' notepads down, and he goes, coaches, you're up. And mate, I remember you picking out a couple of coaches, too late, too slow, fucking unprepared, get better. Like, he's just peppering them all. And mate, that's when you go, oh, this is good. That's when it's popcorn out job.
Oh, mate, 100%. But like, it's weird to think about it. Like. I love how he's so, I love what he's like about that. Like, he keeps you on your toes, because everyone needs to be on their toes at different times. And that's the same way you find when you start working. You're like, high-performing environments, you need to be sort of uncomfortable and be told stuff, even when you know you're slipping. But you might, like, just random stuff like that. Sometimes when same thing, you have a good win, you play it right, if I can have 15 beers the night before, you're a bit fucking seedy. And you just fucking, your chest starts fucking hitting. Boss walks in fucking, and you're just like, oh shit, he knows.
Yeah, he does know. He knows everything, doesn't he? Yeah. Back to Nick O'Brien. He's I remember when I was in my second or third year, he was at Essendon, I reckon, early days, and he was sending us at Freo. We were sending him scripts of all the players, and he was doing horse race calling for us. Yeah. And mate, we were in tears. And I think Ryan Crowley might have introduced us to it because he went to Essendon there. Yeah. And he's like, and I played against Nico, but I haven't seen him in years. But mate, some of the funniest shit, and I'd actually love to get him on the pod. Make sure you tee it up, and I'd love him to do a call. He was ahead of his time. And I think he could monetize this. If you're a footy club and you send in a script with players and he does the race call, mate, we'd be in tears listening to how funny this shit was.
He's got some of the greats. I've still got him. He hasn't done them in a while too, actually. So I reckon, but he can do them off the cuff.
I know, off the cuff. Like he actually has.
Just name 10 people that are around the thing and tell them, and he'll just look at them, work out some sort of flaw in their physical nature.
Yeah.
And he'll say something about him in a race call. Like, he'll just be like, I tailed off last.
Yeah.
Carrying too much weight.
Yeah,
or,
I've got the, there was a recording in our NFL fantasy group for Freo, and I can't find it, but I remember everyone was just copying it on this thing, and we're all losing it. No one knew who he was. Like, everyone was, no one, like, I think Krause said, just check this out. No one knew who he actually sent it in. And he just did it off the cuff.
Yeah, mate, he's unbelievable. He's still good. He's good at that. I think that's awesome. He's good with his words. He's one of them blokes. He's quick-witted.
Sharp country lads.
Yeah, well, mate, you got to be careful around him, mate. Like, we just at work at the moment, it can get quite like we sit next to each other now at work. And so like a fair bit of banter that goes on there.
You're like at school, isn't it, when you're next to your best mate? It's hard not to just joke around. You lock in, but then if you want to just get going and start laughing, you just distract the whole
each other quick.
Let's talk about. That's good to see you going well post footy, though, mate.
No,
that's awesome.
Really well, yeah.
It's good to see. Let's talk about your career. So growing up, what was it like living with danger at the start?
Yeah, mate, we couldn't be. We couldn't be more opposite.
But why do you say that?
Oh, mate, like we're both. I think when because I got drafted as a 17-year-old, and obviously Danger did maybe 4 or 5 years before that. I think the footy club thought it'd be a great idea to throw me in with Danger, thinking there would be. But mate, we are really close friends. But like it's just it's just one of the different things. Like Danger never drank, never like carried on. He's very not professional, but like got a very funny sense of humour. And we just like sort of hit it off straight away, even though we're like a lot different. But it was a different one. Like I was 17. I couldn't even play footy in AFL in my first year. So I was a year with the year above. You got drafted the same year. But
that's right.
Yeah, so but I had to play the whole year at West Adelaide, which Danger played for as well. So it was like it was tough. Like, I was so raw, mate. And then I went into a host family after I lived with Danger for a bit. And then, like same thing, just getting ready to play AFL the year after. But just being so totally unprepared.
You're so young, though. Like, I look back now, some of the shit you're saying and doing at 18, 19, you're just happy to be around the legends. You don't even realise you're on a list till you start going, oh, shit, I need to get a game. I need to stop mucking around. Like, even if you're not, I remember and this is for young players if they ever listened, but when you're mucking around all the time, you're still training your ass off, but the perception of like one joke and everyone laughing makes you look like, oh, he's not. Sometimes older players think, oh, I don't think he's locked in, but you are locked in. It's just your personality.
Yeah, it's your personality.
And I reckon a few of them early days, they can hurt you when you get to a meeting and they're doing pick the team with this leadership consultant, and they're going, oh, I reckon this bloke's really got his head into the footy more than this bloke, but the reality is I'm doing more work than him, but you just don't see it. Just because I'm carrying on in the locker room, you know? And that's what I reckon.
It's changed a lot. I reckon even since like we would have got drafted, like there's a lot of old schools. A lot feels like it. Now it's like their personalities coming out.
100%.
So like it's just like, mate, I just used to sit there like a church mouse at the start.
You
just sit there and just be like, I will do whatever my teammates ask me to do, unless spoken otherwise. Like and then like now it feels like even my last couple of years, you see the kids who come in,
Yeah,
Shut up, mate.
I don't know him, but Philip who rolled in, he looks like a unique operator, but they embraced that, which is great.
Yeah, like just different. And you're like, mate, if that happened 15 years ago, you get carved apart. And like,
You wouldn't you?
like literally, like just carved apart. Like you don't train with the boys. Or it's just like you fit in or fuck off.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so it's changed a lot. I think it's good that I like embrace personalities, but then also I still think there's a time for, like a bit more like that seniority as well. It gets lost, I reckon, a little bit where you're just like, okay, do your time a little bit more.
Yeah,
I'm probably a
agree.
bit more old school where I'm like, oh, just sit there and fucking do what
I know what you're talking
teammates
about,
say
yeah.
a little bit. And then I see some of the stuff these days, and sometimes, celebrations and stuff like that. And, mate, I fucking struggle with it.
You're a country lad, though. You wouldn't be. Yeah, I know what you mean. Like the handshake. It's Americanized stuff.
Yeah, it is all that stuff.
Yeah,
and like, I don't follow American sport. I'm like sit there and just be like,
I would have thought you'd embrace the celebrations. You're a pretty laid back operator.
No, celebrations or
Too much carry on.
I'll be too nervous. I'll be like, if I celebrate like that, I will not get a kick next week.
That's where they're good though. These young blokes.
Yeah, they don't give a fuck.
Yeah, like, I love Guinea throwing the ball out.
I can't believe. I just look at it and just be like, mate, I'd be thinking, what am I setting myself up for?
Yeah, that's exactly how we think. Though.
Yeah,
they don't think like that.
No.
They just think,
it is. It's good, but I've still got a little bit of an old school sort of.
It's good. What about early days with Danger? Because he didn't drink at all, did he?
No, not at all. No, I don't reckon hardly at all. Like,
probably why he's still playing.
Yeah, probably why he's still playing. I'm sitting here with me 5 years younger than him with a body fuck. Probably says something, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, probably why I did 25 carbs.
It's funny.
I wonder why I couldn't get on the park.
Yeah, he actually looked after himself.
You love sucking piss though, don't you?
Oh, I love having a beer, yeah. I do like having a beer.
They reckon on a Saturday, so and you can confirm, but that you're one of the best places to ever be is you and a couple of mates perched up. Say you had the weekend off, Saturday, 12 p.m, as many stubbies as possible, and just watching every single race.
Every race.
Even if it's at bloody South Africa.
Yeah, it's a messy to do, mate, on a Saturday night, mate. All right, turf and tyne over 4,500. I like same thing. I used to be pretty. Oh mate, if it was a Saturday, I've always been a pub bloke. Like just races, 12 o'clock, 12:30, making 15 blokes. That's me.
Yeah, that's great.
I hate crowds really. Like don't really like crowds, and so I'm more like just get all your mates together, bring piss bags shit out of each other.
Yeah.
I know.
That's what we do.
It's a good environment, isn't it?
It's good and I agree with the pubs when they're not. I mean, we love a good pub, but when you just want to catch up with your mates, lock in, watch sport, races, whatever it is good going to those those like the dodgy kind of pubs where no one goes, but you can just chill out. There's not like chaos going on 100%. And fucking every man his dog walking.
Handles of Carlton Draft. From the
what was your go-to pub in Adelaide?
Oh, mate, I used to spend a lot of time at the Henley Beach Hotel and the Lockleys Hotel. Me and Tex lived together for 5 or 6 years. We lived in Bernie Vince's house, actually, around the corner from the Lockleys Hotel. And so, we'd spend most Saturdays there.
That's brilliant. What about down here in Melbourne?
Brighton Beach Hotel, Sandringham Hotel. Fair bit there. Watched races there most weeks.
You got a couple of horses?
Yeah. So I got the Astrologist. It's 9-year-old. It's actually done really well. It's won almost $2.5 million.
It's always in the big
money.
sprint races.
Yeah, it tries. Like it goes out hard and just holds on. I don't mind that.
You're like me with 3K, mate. Yeah. I've blown up a couple of times.
One out, one back, and go off the speed. And then I've got a couple of other horses in just with a trainer, Andrew Noble in Ballarat, with my old man, my brother, and Paul Seedsman's in it.
How's he going, actually?
He's going all right. Like, his concussion stuff's been horrific to watch. Like, he never had a concussion, had one hit. And
is that it? One hit?
Yeah, one hit. Yeah. One hit. And like still like struggling a little fair bit.
I saw a video pop up the other day. I think it was on social media that he's saying that there's days where he's feeling grouse and there's weeks where he can't get out of bed and it's crazy.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like I never knew enough about it. I've never seen someone affected like so long term about it. But like he's still going really well. The problem is he can't like look at a computer screen and work or anything. So because it's too hard. Like he watches too much TV. Like a lot of the time he's got to just lay down on the couch. Like and then he'll go for a walk. He'll get dizzy. All that sort of stuff. And you're just like, fuck, that's just so hard. But it's just the unknown about concussion as well. Like he's just like I don't even know what like. Sometimes he's like, I feel really good for a month, think it's almost gone.
Yeah.
And then can just go whack out of nowhere.
It's crazy,
without
man.
any like deterrent, like without anything happening.
Is he still listed?
So no,
he's not. He's off the list now. Yeah.
No, he's off. But he's like, I'm really close mates with him, and it's just like, fuck, it's just.
Man, I got him drafted.
Did you?
He had 1,000 on me. Yeah, it was like these unknown products.
Yeah.
Who did he play for again in attack? It was at Eastern.
Eastern Rangers, was it?
And I remember going up against him, and they had when they profile players,
He's winning weighed 100 kilos together.
Yeah, I know. No, there's nothing of him. And they said, this bloke, don't know much about him. You probably smack him today. And I did kind of disrespected him. I didn't really. When you're playing on the wing, you can really tighten up, or you can, you can just loosen up the rein. Jeez, he just dominated on me.
Yeah.
I remember my old man saying, "Geez, that Seedman gave you a bath today." And I go, "Yeah, he fucking he kicked up 3 goals on me." I go, "Man, this bloke's a machine." And then he ended up getting drafted and dominating. I think he went to the Pies first, didn't he?
Yeah.
And then I was like, "Yeah, well, there you go." It was no bunny.
Well, he actually had his best year in his last year before the concussion.
Yeah.
He's in the All-Australian 40.
He had a beautiful leg.
And so he'll tell you about that too.
That's crazy. Only the one hit, so it wasn't. Yeah, I mean, it's scary stuff. It's why there's a lot going on in the AFL world with stuff that's obviously still evolving. But I mean, I love my American sport. I love NFL, and you see some of the hits there. So it's crazy to think that Seeds is he's cop one and he can't even look at a computer screen.
I know. The thing is, like, he's still got a reasonable quality of life. But it's just for him, it's like work wise, or what do you do sometimes? Like
go to the farm.
Yeah, right. Well, he just.
What is he doing?
It's really you can't do anything at the moment. So
Jesus.
It's sad, hard to deal with for him, but we keep in contact. But it's just just sometimes you speak to him and he's good as gold, and other times he's struggling with it. So.
Yeah. I'll wish him all the best. What about your brother, mate? What's it like? Let's start with just playing together. What's that like?
Oh, mate. It was awesome being able to play with him, but I don't know whether you know Matt much or whether you've ever much.
No, I don't know much about him at all.
He's very intense and he's a lot different to me as well. So it was he very abusive, and we had a lot of good times, but I loved it. Like we had a really good understanding of where each other were and stuff like that on the field. But yeah, we're very we had a bit like when we grew up, we were lucky because we had. My old man played a lot of footy, coached he stopped coaching local footy last year. He's still involved with the Ballarat Swans in Ballarat. But he coached us sort of even senior footy. So we played senior footy when we were 15, 16 at Beaufort. And Dad was the head coach as well. So it was pretty, we grew up in a very country environment and it was just me and Matt at home. So, and it was always.
It was always on?
It was still on. We still fight, so.
It's still on, mate. It's still on.
Oh, yeah, we fight physically still. So you'd think we grow up, but we.
Has he got you now that you're not in the gym and all that?
Nah, mate. I always say, mate, I've been belting you since we were 2 years old, and what you think's going to change now? It's fucking 30 years later. I've got 10 kilos on him. I tell him that every time. I've got 10 kilos. I'll just belt you. But he's so aggressive that.
He loves it, doesn't he?
He just doesn't care. He'll just.
That's good.
Yeah, so it's a bit of fun. We haven't had too many blues, but we did have a couple of big blues over in Adelaide when we played together. And
it'd be like that though, because he knows you can handle it. So if he's frustrated, he'll just let you know. He's not like another teammate where you just watch the tone. He'd probably just give it to you direct.
He does that to everyone, not just me because I'm his brother.
Tell you what, one of you, well, both of you, geez, you know how to find the footy. Your old man must be a good coach.
Oh, mate. It was funny because my old man reckons my old man, believe it or not, like Matt's slow as a wet week. I've got no speed. My old man reckons he was lightning quick, right?
They always say
yeah, I know. And could kick the ball 60 metres.
There's no footage back then, so you can't tell.
Footage. You can't chase him up, right? But he's just like, he often says, he's just like, I just watch you blokes play and I just can't believe I didn't play 250 games. He's like, you blokes you're slow. He's like, I was better.
That's great.
So, no, it is funny.
That's brilliant. What's the old boy doing now?
So he was coaching Talbot, like senior coaching. He coached Bow for a long time. Now he's actually the list manager at Ballarat Swans. So he's pretty good at it, and he's retired now. Mum and Dad was both school teachers, so he when they retired, Dad still wanted to do some stuff because they'd go nuts together. Or like Mum and Dad just at home, especially when me and Matt moved out as well. I think that changed the dynamic a fair bit. Matt being in Adelaide,
it's hard for your parents when you move out.
Yeah, and especially because they were retired, they're like, oh shit. And had 2 kids and then retired, teaching every day and then retire. And then they're like,
no kids
so that mum's like, get this prick out of the house. So he's always involved in footy. He loves his footy. And
he'd be one of the blokes that would have a frame and a little corner at the club, wouldn't he? Like he'd be a legend, wouldn't he?
He's played, I don't know how many games he played. It would have been a shit like. He gave up at 41.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And his body's fine.
No, his body's fucked.
Oh, is it?
He's the same as mine. Like he's had 2 knee replacements, shoulders, backs, like everything.
He just lives and breathes.
He's got everything. He's hurting. He's about 125 kilos. That doesn't help. And he's waiting for my demise too, post retirement. He's just like, man. And I'm like, I just keep saying, well, I don't think I'm going to put on as much. I can't possibly put on as much weight as he has.
What's your over-under, you reckon?
Oh, mate, I reckon...
You're in good nick now. You're looking slim.
I'm not too bad,
and
but...
you haven't been going... Have you been training or you...
mate, I just jog and go and do, like, gym, like I said before, like the little fake gym classes.
Just a quick pump.
Mate, yeah, quick pump, 20 minutes in and out.
The old 4 sets of 12 and doing 8 exercises. Man, I'm lucky to do 4 exercises. I do if there's 4 exercises and about 3 sets of 8, and that's enough for me now.
I know. And I was hopeless when I played footy. Like, I hated the gym. I hated it.
Yeah, unless the music's pumping and the boys are up and about.
We just complain and sook and horrific. And so I've got PTSD about the gym. So,
You'd be strong in the gym though, wouldn't you?
I was pretty naturally, like, I wouldn't do much, but I was reasonably strong.
On the field?
When I was in the gym, I actually was reasonably strong, but I didn't want it. I didn't try. Like, I didn't like it. When I was 17, they made me put on weight straight away because I wasn't playing. So I was like, I got real strong real quick. Like I was 17, I was benching 135 kilos.
Geez, that's heavy. Mate, you're a beast.
I was Ben Sanderson was the coach. He had a chest like this, and he's just like, mate, I can get on that thing all year.
That's unbelievable.
And
numbers.
So I put on so much weight, and I was like, just got real obsessed with it, and then like realised quick the next year when I was about 10 kilos over, and my fucking hammies were hurting, and I was doing. I was like, fuck, I can't run now. So virtually ever since then, I was trying to lose it.
That's unbelievable. Yeah. I don't think I ever got to, I think my best is, I've always said this, my best is 1 rep of 100. I was the weakest little bitch in the gym.
That's the same with my brother. I
can't do anything.
He's like pathetic on the bench press. And
yeah,
it's so funny. Like it's so funny because he tries so hard.
We try harder than anyone. Yeah,
he loves his weights. Right?
Is he real professional?
Yeah, he's real professional. Like real professional and just so obsessive. And he gets like he goes on these little fads of like, oh, I'm trying this pre-season with this like just to get my energy up and all this bullshit. Do you know what I mean? Like you'll go on like a soup diet or a fucking cleanse or some bullshit right before the season.
Rodgers, yeah.
Normally, like that's the same thing. Like we go back home in Ballarat like when we were young, we go back home in Ballarat or go away with the boys and stuff like that, and we just cram like 2 weeks before pre-season. You're like, fuck, I'm fat and unfit, like, and so you do something like drastic. Like me and Nico used to do like at one stage we would run the lake in Ballarat, and with we had the fucking garbage bins fucking around it like the jockeys. Trying to sweat. Then we'd box after it.
The garbage bag.
Yeah, we had the garbage bags.
Are you doing
Catch
the
with
old
the sweat, yes.
Yeah.
With hoodies on.
Hoodies on.
Mate, we did.
You're doing all that kind of
We
stuff.
tried it all.
Kepler Bradley used to get the chili out because I don't think he could taste. I think his smell was gone or whatever. So he couldn't taste food. So what he would do is he would just smack chili and he'd have like literally just like salad and tuna or whatever for 2 weeks. He'd do it 2 weeks before training and that's all he would eat. And he'd whack chili and he reckons it would burn his ass on the other end, but he would be sweating mate. And he reckons it would lean him up for 2 weeks before. Then you get the skin fold test and he'd be like beautiful in the way.
That's the worst one to that skin fold, mate. Because I ended up at Adelaide, like, it was always like around my guts, just fucking. There was always dough there, no matter what.
Dough.
And mate, I spent a good 8 years in the fat club at the start of pre-season. I reckon.
That's the worst,
and then I end up getting labelled just the skipper. So I was a skipper of the fat club for fucking almost a decade at Adelaide.
At least you know
and
what you are.
It was the same. It was the same crew. It'd be like me, Tex, and Matt. We'd do. It was like a crew of us. It wasn't too bad in the end. I started embracing it. Like, oh yeah, swim on 5 a.m. on a fucking Tuesday morning. Then we do boxing and stuff like that. And we were like, this is not a bad little like. At least
you get to actually. Yeah. I remember there was me, Scotty Gumbledon, and a few others. We were in the same thing, fat club, and you'd be on together. You're on your own a bit. You feel good after a session, don't you? Yeah.
And then you walk out, and all the blokes that are like ripped and that, they're only just walking in. You're like, oh fuck, one of these. You feel like you've actually achieved something. You sort of look down on them. You're like, I forget that we're actually the ones that are fat.
Yeah, I know. And you feel like you're on a different program as well. It's us against them. Some of them are lean, but like I remember some blokes they'd eat the worst shit. And they'd just be lean, and it used to piss me off because I'd be, you'd be doing. I used to like a few lollies and that, but I'd be training me absolute guts off. I'd be running around like a 100%. Lunatic. I'd be running better than them all. I'd be lifting. I was never strong in the gym, but you're pumping out all the sessions. And you go to the skin fold test, and you're like, I was the same as you, a bit of dough around the guts. And early days was the quad. Yeah, the quad used to kill me, man.
Quad get me,
and the quad just evaporated after year 6. I don't know what happened, but it was like my body just changed. 100%. But the quad used to go like the quad and calf was terrible. Yeah, and as soon as I get to the guts, I was up to the 60s. I go, I'm gone.
I don't know why my back is so fat.
Yeah, people out there probably haven't. If you haven't done a skin fold test, go do one, and you'll know what we're talking about. You'll see the quad clamp just go through the roof.
Yeah, I'd always just try and just dictate to the dietitian as well.
Oh, hey, there's a bit of a method there.
Someone on the fucking computer there.
Mate, whatever. Let's talk about that one. You know when the dietitian clamps it, you have your mate on the computer and he's winking at you and he's chucking a couple mil under. Did you have that one?
Oh, mate, I did it a million times.
Every time this is the first time I've ever spoken about this because you're man of integrity. You don't want to be cheating, but sometimes you got to cheat to get under this 50. Yeah. We had to get under 55 just to train. I got pulled out of training after coming third in a time trial. Mate, third in a 3K and I wasn't able to train for 2 weeks.
That's the same thing with Nick. Nick O'Brien, one of the best runners I've ever seen. Like, he's a natural freak. Like, he'll run I think he ran a 5:50 2K.
He was a freak,
He's a freak and looks like shit. Like his body,
he's a
big boy, but like just watch him run, you're like, oh my god, he's about to fall over and fall on his face. But he was just like one of them blokes, and so he'd come out there, and we'd be training the whole system, just chasing our ass the whole time, and then he'd go in, he'd win the time trial, he'd run a 6:01, and then he used to be like 61. He's like, mate, I'm beating blokes by like a minute and a half, and I'm in the fat club. I'm like, which is bullshit.
Yeah, I know. That's what I used to say. I got a DEXA, which is the full body scan, and I'd be okay. You can't
hide from them ones either.
That's when you know you're out of shape. I'll be okay there though. Like I'd be average, but then in the skin fold test, I'd be the worst.
Yeah.
But back to that, that's funny what you just said. There was 2 tests. There was the weight. I'd drop weight all the time, especially in season. And if you drop too far, Ross Lyon would get him up and put him on the screen in meetings. So you'd start just whacking your weight in, and some days you're down. Some days you're down 2, some days you might be up, but you're just whacking it in real consistent. Yeah. That was the other thing you do. But the skin fold thing, that is a pisser that you brought that up. Yeah. We would go in there deliberately with like another bloke that's fat. And it's like, you do mine, I'll do yours. And the dietitian, because she's on her own, she only has the clamps and she'd read the numbers out. And mate, I remember there's actually a player still playing at Freo that was the gun at it. And he goes, don't worry about it, because he was
I've got you.
Yeah.
I used to go in text
but I'd be like, mate, one day he gave me a real low one. I said, fucking, that's too low, mate. I can't get down to 45.
What about the next one in a month?
Yeah, exactly right. Bump that back up to 50. Just 49.
Just manipulate the numbers, just to not raise any alarms either way. I
remember 49 was like, anything higher than 50, I don't think you're allowed to train, and 55 you can't play. But mate, I remember him dropping it down to 46 once. I said, mate, that's too low. Like, now I'm struggling to keep that, maintain that, because they'll bring that up as a PB and they highlight that shit.
Yeah, I know. I don't want to be getting called out. And then it puts yourself in jeopardy for the next one.
It's like your 3K.
It's especially the same one that I used to manipulate as well, was the one like late in the season, like your last one, because they're like, oh, this is the last one, and then they judge you when you come back. So you're like, you sort of want to push that out a little bit.
You want to have a couple of sessions on the piss, don't you?
Yeah, you just sort of push that out and just bump them up. Just I don't want to make that. You don't want anything to raise any like red flags.
That's brilliant. And there's no game next week, so you don't mind getting over there.
Yeah, 100%.
That's funny. Yeah, that is brilliant. Mate. That is brilliant stuff. I did reach out to a few of the boys.
Oh, here we go. What do we got?
I said, I need some dirt. So I went to a couple of lads. I won't name them, but geez, they were very good. And they speak very fondly of you, mate. So well done. You're a good bloke. They said, well, the first one I was good. What are you better at, drinking piss or backing winners?
Oh, definitely drinking piss. I'm a group one drinker.
Ask him about his nickname, Shit Pit.
Oh. So, mate, I played. Do you remember Matt Yentz that played at Adelaide? So this would have been like 21, 22. He was from up in Hahndorf. We're going back to pre-season. We had the time trial on a Monday morning. And on the Saturday, it was a Yenchi. We both played cricket when we were young, and we were always talking to each other. I was playing cricket in the room, and he goes, oh, mate, come out and play at Hahndorf. Yeah, righto. Went out and played a game out at Hahndorf on the Saturday before the Monday. We got absolutely smashed. Sean Tate's brother was playing, actually.
The Wild thing.
Yeah, Sean Tate actually played there the year after, thank God. He was out there. He was out there the day. And I made a first ball duck. Yenchi made fuck all. Yenchi made one. He nicked the first one to second slip. It burst through second slip's hand. He scampered through for one and then got bowled the second ball. Like, disgraced ourselves. We're all out for like 80, and then they were like, they've got him in like fucking no time and smashes everywhere or whatever. Anyway, we were like, we're not drinking because we got time trial and skin folds and all that shit. So, but after a day like that, we'd like, oh no, we'll get blind. So we stayed up at Hahndorf. His parents lived above the Oval, right? And they were at a wedding. And he's like, fuck this, let's just go to the pub. And like the Hahndorf, they got the big German like steins and shit. So the whole cricket team there, we're in our whites, drinking. And Rob Chapman, who was the chairman of the Adelaide Crows, his brother owned the Great Eastern Pub, which is one of the famous pubs up in the hills. We're there. And when I've gone into the toilet, and it was like an old pull down chain for, the old pull down to flush the tray. Now I'm blind, and I've slipped, and as I'm holding the tray, and I've pulled the whole thing off the wall. Right. And it's just water's going everywhere. Like, it's just, I come out Yenchi, and Yenchi's hammered. And I go, oh, mate, Bruno owns the pub, our chairman's brother. I'm thinking, I come out. I'm like, mate, we've got to do something. I just went straight away. I went to Rob Chapman's brother. I said, mate, I fucked it and I fell over. You won't believe this. But he just walks in and just like, it's just water going everywhere. Right. Anyway, Yenchi comes in. He's a qualified sparky, but somehow he thinks he's a fucking plumber. He goes, I'll go out the back. I'll fix this. I go out the back of the pub. They're at the back. He's playing with pipes and this and that, and we're stumbling around. And eventually he goes, mate, come here. And Rob Chapman's brother's out the back of the Republic, and we're trying to work out how to stop the water from flowing everywhere. And he, for whatever reason, he goes, here, come here. And there's a septic tank in the ground in the back of the car park. This massive septic tank. And he's like, help me with this. And I'm, righto. So we went and we pulled the lid off his septic tank. Out to the side, we looked down. It's just obviously shit and piss. And I don't know why we pulled it off. Right. Anyway, eventually we've stopped the water somewhere. I can't remember how. We've gone back into the pub. We've drank for another 2 or 3 hours. And then eventually we're like, oh, we need to get home. Like, it was 1 a.m. or whatever it was. Yenchi gets one of his mates to pick us up from the back of the pub. So I'm walking along. We're in our cricket watch. I'm walking along and I walk over the septic tank. It's still, the lid's still open, right? And Yenchi's walking behind me. He's on his phone and he's mouthing off something. He's like, right? And then I just hear this, ah! And I'm like, look back behind Yenchi's head. He's gone in the septic tank, like literally just fallen straight down in the septic tank. I've like looked down and been like, I laughed my head off. Anyway, we've got another mate with us. Yenchi's like, get me the fuck. He couldn't get out. He was treading water in the septic tank.
Oh, wow.
And then he's just like, I'm like pissing ourselves. Anyway, I've gone to get him out and he's just pulled me. I've gone down. I've just gone. I just remember my head just going straight down. So we are this like literally worst thing ever. Anyway, we both get out. Like our chairman's brother who owns the pub has got us out the back. We've got our whites on the side. We're sitting out the back and he's just hosing us down out the back of the pub, like in our jocks. Yenchi's mate that was picking us up is like, mate, he goes, you're not getting in my car. So we're walking the streets of Harmdorf in our jocks, just trying to get a ride home. Eventually, someone picked us up that Yenchi knew, and they put down newspapers in the back of their car because we stunk like horrifically.
Mate, that's in the whites as well.
In the whites. The whites were gone. We're just in our jocks, just walking up and down the street. Anyway, we got picked up. Went back to the house, went back to Yenchi's parents' house. We showered up and that, but then we had the time trial. And literally, for the next 2 days, we still, like, mate, we had in your ears, in everything. Right, Yenchi hit his knee on the, when he went down, he hit his knee, so he couldn't run. He missed the time trial. His knee was like that. I've done the time trial spell and still like shit. Anyway, so then they started calling us by the shit pit. That was our nickname, shit pit.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the shit
That
pit.
is one of the best stories I've ever heard. That is unbelievable. You've gone to help him and he's pulled you in and you've gone head first.
Head first, straight down.
And you're that pissed, you probably don't remember that.
Yeah, you don't remember
probably
too
good
much.
that you were pissed there.
It was a tough 48 hours preparing for a time trial after.
Oh, yeah. Geez, did you run well? Sometimes you run better.
Because I was on edge.
Yeah, when you're on edge, you run all right.
It was all right, yeah.
That is amazing, mate. I'm glad I asked you. Rat actually asked me to. Rat said to ask him about that one as well, but I the septic tank and there you go. Too. That's a famous story. That have you told that one before?
No, I don't think I have. It's I was trying to keep it pretty quiet, like for that especially before the time trial. You know, I think
because the story gets
made
out.
up some lie about his knee or something like some bullshit. I can't
Slipped
remember.
over,
We're trying
mopping the floors.
We were keeping it real quiet. And then after a couple of weeks, we started like telling a few people, and everyone started calling the shit pit.
Jeez, it's stiff. Far out. That is very funny, man. And there's one of those stories where, you know, oh mate, I was taking a piss and I slipped over. You did.
It sounds made up. Well, when you think about it, like I don't even know how it happened.
And then you hit his that is great. That's brilliant. Ask him about the tray of lasagna that cost him more than a gold ounce.
It's actually, I was playing it was my 50th or 100th game or something like that. And I can't remember what it was. I was actually going to a place in the city in Adelaide. And I remember I was going to an insurance company because I just bought my first house and going to get everything sorted for my insurance. And I'm walking in downstairs and this is Italian restaurant and this bloke yells out, "Hey, Brad, how are you, mate?" I'm like, "Hey, mate, how you going?" He goes, "Oh, mate, come here. You know, I'm a massive Crow supporter. Mate, sit down, have some food." And I said, "Oh, yeah, righto." So I sit down, he brings out all this food, like beautiful food, like Italian stuff, blah, blah. And he goes, "Oh, what do you do normally like before games?" I said, "Oh, normally, I'll be texted, you know, normally we have like lasagna or whatever." And he goes, "Mate, I've got a brand, like, I've just made the best lasagna in here. It's all frozen. How about you have that?" I'm thinking, he's giving me all this, like, just giving me on the house. He goes, "Look at the size of it. I'm like, beautiful food. You beauty." Anyway, he goes, "Oh, all right, I'm like, mate, I better head off. I've had a couple of coffees and lunch." And he goes, "Right, that'll be $4.50.
Why?
$450. I'm like, wait. He goes, yeah, well, the lasagna costs $350 for that tray. I'm like, I thought this was on the house. He's charged me $450, and I've like walked out. I've just walked out with his tray of lasagna. I'm like, how did I get coaxed into this? Like, I come back home and text. I'm like, mate, I got this lasagna. He goes, did you pay for that? I said, mate, I paid $450 fucking bucks. This bloke's done an absolute number on me.
That's unbelievable. That's a sales technique you need now at Colliers.
Yeah, I know. Just coach them in until they're too far in.
You're a good enough bloke to say I'll follow up.
Yeah,
with
mate.
it.
I just couldn't. I was just like, oh yeah, right. Like I was like, he's fed me. He acted like he was my best mate. He's just done a number on me. Absolutely. I was hook, line, and sinker. I was gone.
That's the most expensive lasagna by an absolute
It was
mile.
a massive tray, but it was. He charged me $350 for this tray, but I reckon he was basing it on what he was charging for like one slice across the board. Do you know what I mean? He might charge $30, and he's just looked at it and gone, "Yeah, $350 will do, mate."
Oh wow, $450 for the lot. Did you? Now was it a nice lasagna?
Oh mate, it was good. I reckon we put it in the freezer though, and we were like eating it. For a few weeks because it was so much of it as well. And then I remember we had to throw out like half of it, and I remember like everyone taking the piss out of me that I had to throw it out. It was a disgrace.
Oh mate, that is good. Ask him whether he can sing his favourite song 3 a.m.
No chance. Tex knows that I used to sing that all the time when we were living together. I don't know why, but I don't even know how that happened as well.
Just on the piss.
No, I don't even think it was. We used to get pretty bored at home.
He's the man, Tex, though. We'll talk about Tex. And he's, mate, what he's doing is incredible, isn't it? I think he's the oldest capped Adelaide Crow ever, isn't he? I think I saw the other day.
Yeah.
Which is, like, we don't want to go off age, but it means that, longevity in the game.
Yeah,
and
I know.
for a bloke that drinks piss, good bloke, he kicks sausages. He's hopefully they can win it this year for him. It's an incredible achievement. One for the good guys.
Yeah, it is. It is one for the good guys.
You know what I mean? Not many normally they're busted up or injury prone. It's the great man's just hanging in there.
Mate, I remember I was actually saying something the other day. I reckon in 2018 when we fell off the perch, I reckon in then, what's that, 7-8 years ago, he was looking at retiring.
Yeah.
Because his foot was stuffed, his body was stuffed. He couldn't get a kick in a street fight. And, mate, even in 17, like we were kicking 130 points a week, and he wasn't kicking anywhere near as many goals as he was now.
Yeah.
And, it's unbelievable. But he reckons he's got one. He said one of the great text quotes. He goes, "Oh, mate, probably the biggest regret of my career is the fact that I've never been on the end of my own kick." Reckons he would have kicked 1,500 goals.
He has an unbelievable leg, though.
He does.
Like, I was there gather round, right? Yeah. Gather round, opening game. And how old's Tex now? 35?
35, looks 45,
yeah,
50.
So he looks 45, but moves like a 25-year-old. Gets the ball, like, sells candy, rolls on the left, opening gather round, snap, sausage roll, points to the crowd. I'm thinking, how's this bloke? He's moving like Rochelle out there. How does he keep doing it?
Mate, it just makes me laugh every time. It's just like the way he acts and just some of the stuff he says. It just he actually makes me laugh. When I watch him play now still, he just like, when he plays, it makes me laugh.
He's brilliant. He's very good. And just on footy, because I'll get to this, but favourite times? Like, what was your favourite year? You played so much footy. I don't like to talk too much footy, but we're talking live after footy now. But what was your favourite times, mate? Best year?
Not too many highlights.
What was your... Yeah, mate, you used to have... If I think of you, I think of possessions. What was the most you ever had?
I don't know. I reckon I might have had 43 or 44 or something. I had 40 a few times, but...
They're enormous numbers.
I won the band in 19. Maybe that was my best, mate. Probably my last, you know what, in 23, before I retired, that was my best season, I think.
Yeah.
When I was actually 30, almost 30. Maybe that was even better than being a few in Adelaide, but, mate, playing a good team in Adelaide, like just, for, virtually since I got there in 12, like we played in the prelim that year, just being, like, just knowing you're going to be really competitive. Virtually for a decade there was good, but we just never won one, which is frustrating because we lost the 17 grand final. But that was good. at 17.
Yeah. I mean, people don't realise how hard it is to get there. You might get smacked, but geez, getting there is it's an achievement in itself.
Yeah, well, we were clearly the best team that year, which is the most frustrating thing. Like, we had home final, played GWS in their first final and just blitzed them. Like, we won by, I think we won 10, 11 goals. Then we played Geelong, who were really strong in a prelim and won by like 13.
Yeah.
And then went into a grand final and got our asses handed
Let
to
me
us.
ask you, the power stance, it gets taken the piss out of, but someone like you, I can't imagine you love doing that shit. You just spoke about celebrations. Did you hate doing that?
I hated it. Worse. We hated it, but at the same time, we didn't really give a shit at the time. We're just like,
do what you're told.
Do what you're told and move on.
Do you look back now, though, and go, what?
Oh, it's a bit embarrassing, yeah.
But if you win, though, does it matter?
If we won now, we'd be like...
Is that because you lost, though?
I don't know. Like, it was all part of the stuff that we're doing, the collective minds mob.
Did you rate that stuff?
No.
Yeah, it's good to just
Well, no, like, it was just some of the stuff. It was more so like it was a bit like the haka and stuff like that, like trying to intimidate. But I don't think it fucking really intimidated anyone standing there like fucking dickheads.
Especially if you had a mate from Richmond looking at you, you'd be going, look at this shit.
Yeah, I know. It was weird. We didn't even think too much of it at the time. We were more focused on, trying to win a grand final and all that sort of stuff. But, yeah, it's not fun to look back on, especially after getting smashed in the grand final.
Hardest player you ever played on?
Probably Pat Dangerfield.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Getting a play on him.
Oh, fuck, mate. He's just, even there, he's just,
good.
He's 35 years old, just power.
Were you in the game when Freo played Adelaide and Fifey and him went head to head? We would have played against each other that day.
That was wet.
They don't defend, do they, those boys?
No.
Does Danger defend?
Oh, that wouldn't even...
Only if it's within 10 metres.
Yeah, but like he's just,
They had 43 each or something. Yeah. It was like, who can get more touches and have more impact on the game offensively?
Why would you defend when you're
exactly right. That was the bunnies like myself. Just get my man, mate.
That's what the wingers are for. They get back and defend, mate.
Exactly right. That's exactly right.
Run your patterns.
I remember getting off the field, though, looking at the numbers and going, fuck, these blokes. You can just see at the top. It was almost like they just split the pack and two at the top.
Oh, fuck, he's a special player. But even like now, you're watching him, like even early this season, you're just like...
Against the Pies, I think it was against the Pies, he just dominated late. I'm like, this guy he's one of those players, it's like, you wonder if they just click their fingers and go, righto, time to really ramp it up, where like a bloke like me, I was 100% the whole time and average, very average.
Yeah, I'm like that. I'm like, I need to be on. I need to be so switched on. Otherwise, I am going to look fucking horrific.
Yeah, these blokes just kick it into gear and they just go 10-2, game over.
Yeah, exactly.
Jordan Dawson's doing that now. He's unstoppable. Who's your favourite to watch now that you're out of the game? You watch much footy?
Hardly at all. Not a lot. Favourite to watch. I think I'd just look there and I just don't know how people don't think he's one of the best players in the comp. I honestly think Callum Wilkie is a top 3 player.
He's a superstar.
I just like look at him and be like, I can't see a better defender in the competition anywhere near, like not even close to him.
If I'm a coach, that's the first thing I'm stopping against Saints.
Yeah. Well, but your thing is though, like because I was at the game last night against the Bulldogs and he played on Norton last night. He's my height. He's like 187 centimetres or something.
Yeah, he's not small, he's medium sized, but that's playing on tall.
He plays on 200 centimetre blokes.
Yeah.
And outmarks them, beats them, and then gets the ball and uses the ball well, and he's just so reliable, he's so smart. Like, I just like, and then like, even like, I don't know, Tom Stewart's a fucking superstar as well. But like, he doesn't play on blokes in terms of like, he doesn't take on the...
He's not playing on a key. Wilkie
plays on their best player.
Yeah.
And does what he's doing. Like, I honestly just watch him and just like, he's one of my best mates as well, but I'm just like, shit, he's so good.
He is so good.
It's amazing. And he's like the same thing. There's nothing special. He's not quick. He's not super quick.
What is it then?
He just reads the ball. Like,
just a natural.
Like you watch him, you're like, he just goes where he reads it well. He positions, he thinks quicker. Like, a lot of that. I just reckon he's just like, it's amazing his development. Like, I watched him somewhere. And same like Sinclair. Like, I think they're both just guns.
Oh, yeah.
From Saints.
You think Nas, do you think he'll stay?
I don't even know. I've got no idea.
Yeah, you wouldn't have a clue.
No, I wouldn't have a clue, but He's the same thing. He's talented as anything.
Does he love he loved the club? But it's more that he'd be getting misses home.
Yeah, he's a great kid. I don't know. I don't know whether he misses home or not. But he's a great kid. He's going to be a superstar. He's going to get a nice little pay rise.
Oh, geez, wouldn't you love to be just him right now? He'd be getting
we're before our time, aren't we?
Yeah. you were, mate,
you see the contracts and you just go, God.
Oh, mate, they're enormous. Oh, that's why we do the AFL show, Daisy and Well, they're on fire. Anyone who hasn't checked that out, check it out. The boys have been great. And we're starting to talk a little bit more about trades and contracts, and we throw a few just crazy ones out there. But when it gets to the money, like Pickett just signed for
I saw that.
What is 1.4 a year. But I'm not outdated with the numbers because when we played, I think the average when the AFL would come, the AFLPA would come, they'd say, the average is 328,000.
Yeah.
Like, I think that's bumped right up to 400-500 now. So, and even the blokes that were before us, they're talking 100, 200. Like, it just keeps getting pushed out. So it's hard to kind of get your head around what everyone's worth. Yeah. When you hear 2 million, in 10 years, that'll be nothing because the cap's just going to keep blowing out.
I know.
Which is what they deserve because there's more viewership. But it's hard to fathom when you're a bit older, aren't you?
Yeah, I know. Can't do anything about it now, can we? But
some bloke listening as a tradie right now goes, wrap it up, fellas. I'm out here mucking in a sewage pipe right now, just fixing someone's turd.
But in saying that, I remember someone's having a conversation about Dusty Martin when he was, I think it was his contract or something. You're like, how big it was and, how much stuff. I'm like, well, a player like that never should work again.
Yeah. Dusty
you watch the NBA players and stuff like that. If they're that talented, they bring that much to the game, and everyone, and you know how big footy is and the broadcasting and stuff like that. If anything, AFL players are underpaid.
Yeah, you're right about Dusty and that. I'd love to know Dusty's largest contract. It wouldn't be anywhere near some of these ones going now, and he's the best.
You watch the NBA, and it's hard to compare, but at the same time, you're like, well, the TV rights and all that sort of stuff. The AFLPA worked towards getting more and more and more, but it's like for what they bring, everyone in Australia is watching these people every weekend. They've got 100,000 people. Like Nick Dacos. Nick Dacos. It's like,
put him on a billboard.
Steph Curry or, whatever it is in the NBA. It's never going to.
Well, he might be one of those players that won't have to work again. Like they're in that era now where they're going to he'll be on 1.5 for the rest of his life for the next 15, minimum. And then off field, there's a few things that you can do. Yeah. And mate, speaking of looking sharp, I made sure, looking at your head, I've just sized you up with the Rixies here. You've got the Melrose Crystal Grey, mate.
Beautiful,
so that's
mate.
you. Check them out.
Thank you very much, mate. This is good, mate. I just need a new pair of sunnies.
You need to look good.
Oh, mate, this is good. I'll wear these two. I've got an inspection after this. They look right.
Oh, mate, leave them on, great man. I love leaving. I've got to ask you, where's the greatest? Well, before you put them on, we've got our end of financial year sales, so you won't leave them on.
I thought you said before you put them on.
No, leave them on. Leave them on. For anyone out there that wants a pair of Rixies, looks like Crouchy, you got the Melrose Crystal there. We've got our end of financial year sale online now, so up to 58% off at rixhighway.com.au. Check that out. We don't go on sale much, so make sure you check it out and grab yourself some sunnies. Great, man. With the Rixies. Oh, geez, you're looking good.
I feel right. It was 11:30. 11:30, sunny day, mate. I'm going to have a beer around the corner.
Geez, you look good.
Yeah, do you reckon do I actually?
Yeah, you look sharp.
Do they sue me?
100%. Yeah, when I called you this morning, I needed to size you up. You said you got a normal head.
Yeah, I know.
You had a go at me there for asking. That's what I got to do. I got to size you up. Best place you've ever travelled in your whole life? If you took your Rixies with you right now and you had a 1 week holiday, where would you take them?
Mate, I just went to Bali. I hate that joint.
Did you get sick?
No, I got sick, twice.
No wonder you're looking lean.
Yeah, I know.
You're just fake lean.
I know, I am, yeah. That's why I've got a big bag jumper on. Mate, probably New York. Yeah. That's the best. Actually, I saw you in New York, remember?
Yeah, mate. Grouse.
Yeah, I think it was in an underground nightclub somewhere at about 4 a.m.
Where were we? Tao or?
Somewhere that was like, I remember I was with Tex and Bernie. You were with Stephen Hill.
That was, yeah.
Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do. That was the night we met Danny Welbeck.
Who's Danny Welbeck?
He's a soccer player. Me and John O'Rourke used to play FIFA the whole time growing up when we're going to all those states, like when you're professional and everyone's just out drinking piss and you're just at home playing FIFA. And he's the quickest wingman, mate. I don't follow soccer, but geez, he was lightning fast. He'd get out the back and score. And we're at the bar and he goes, mate, that's Danny Welbeck. You know, the bloke that we fight over to play on the FIFA with. I said, oh, yeah, you guys go up and say something to him. And then ended up
Of course he did.
going up to him and just telling him, mate, how are you? We were on off-season as well. He understood the lingo. He goes, I'll come to Lavo tomorrow. Because too hungover the next day. But, yeah, Hilly was there as well. Where were we? I think it was Dream the night.
Yeah, it was.
Dream, yeah.
I remember it was like a real skinny giant.
All the cans on the wall and they had the American flag. Yeah. What a place.
Oh, shit.
Do you love your basketball and
Nah.
sport? Oh, so you're just there drinking piss.
I was just there for, me and Tex were like, we were out of our depth over there, mate. Like, we were just trying to sightsee, mate. Just we were nowhere. We actually, I think on that Saturday night, I reckon that Saturday night, we were with Bernie as well. Bernie was over there. He was there with his wife and we took him in for 24 hours. And
his wife would have been flat.
yeah, she was, as soon as she saw us, she wasn't happy. And I think me and Tex in New York, we stayed, that Saturday night, we got home at like 5 in the morning and we were still like fatigued from the flight and starved. Anyway, we woke up Monday. And I literally turned around. We were the same thing on the Sunday. We were meant to meet mates over there. And I'd wake up, like, sort of come good, and I'd just turn over and Tex would be laying there, and I'd be like, fuck, I'm tired, man. And you'd be like, oh, I'm going back to sleep. And then, like, got to the stage where it's like 10 p.m. on a Sunday night. And then we just woke up Monday morning at like 5 a.m.
Straight on time zone.
Straight off to Starbucks to get a quick coffee. We missed Sunday, man.
Well, that's what, when you're that, it's a long flight.
Oh,
like people don't realise.
Especially next to Tex. He just farts the whole time and fucking stinky fucking doesn't care about anyone who's around him.
Oh, mate, this has been elite. I can't thank you. No, you're welcome back anytime, mate, if you want to do any more of this stuff.
Mate.
It's been awesome.
Beautiful.
Thanks so much for coming on. Appreciate it. And anyone that wants some commercial real estate, head to Collier's and get in contact with you or Nico and that you'll be sorted right there.
Mate. Appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
Nah, pleasure, mate. Thank you. And again, if anyone needs a pair of sunnies, get online. We've got our end of financial year sale at rickseyewear.com. Check them out. But thank you so much for listening and make sure you hit that subscribe button or send it to a mate that loves a laugh. This has been an absolute beauty, this one. I've enjoyed it.
Thanks.
I'll see you next week. Cheers, guys. Aces, I know that's the end of the show, but here's a shameless plug for Rick's. It doesn't come without great value. Use our discount code ACES to get 20% off site-wide on us. And don't be worried about shopping eyewear online. We'll give you our 90-day free return policy just in case they're not the perfect fit. Head over to rickseyewear.com.au and find your fit today.
We got a code red. The egg has flown the nest. We have lost Alpha.
Not gonna happen, buddy. Now that's built different, just like the PointsBet app.
This season, check out PointsBet's NBA Bet Tracker. Bet on NBA markets and follow them live in the PointsBet app.
Damn, you're strong.
That was a close one, mate.
PointsBet. Built different.
What are you really gambling with? For free and confidential support, call the number on the screen or visit the website.